Chris Hamblin, the college basketball insider here at ArizonaSports.com, back with you for another edition of College Hoops Coast to Coast. Conference tournaments are here, but before we get into the tourneys, let's look back at U of A going on the road and losing to Arizona State. This was a shocking upset considering how bad ASU had played this season and the direction that U of A was heading, and as much as they had to lose by losing to Arizona State. There's no excuse for Arizona's side to lose this game. They now require a deep run in the Pac-12 tournament to even have a shot at making the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, Arizona State with a very nice win, it sets them up to have some momentum heading into the Pac-12 tournament in LA. Speaking of conference tournaments, it seems like each year Kentucky coach John Calipari goes out and says they're a joke. He said it again this year, and he's got a point. Look at Kentucky. What do they have to gain by playing in the SEC tournament? They have nothing to gain. They're still going to be the overall number one seed. They've lost one game, and they're running their guys out there with the potential to play in the championship game on Sunday and then have to turn around and play on Wednesday, and they could have been resting their team the entire time. I agree with what Cal says about conference tournaments. Unfortunately, in the economic state of college athletics, they are a huge revenue producer, and they have to be there. Now, how I would fix it? I would make the number one seeds already available and already bracketed before the conference tournament play begins. So my one seeds would be Kentucky, Syracuse, Kansas, and North Carolina. Those four teams, before they know what's going to happen in their conference tournament, they already know that they have a one seed. It may make the conference tournaments exhibitions for them, but at least it would give the conference number one seed a true advantage. Now, who really gets hurt by the conference tournaments? This is a tricky question, and I think it's the low majors, not the mid-majors, but the low majors. Take, for instance, the Horizon League. You have a team like Valparaiso that goes out and wins the conference by 2 games. They play Detroit in the championship game. Sure, they get to host them of the Horizon League Conference tournament, but what ends up happening is they lose. So they beat Detroit twice in the regular season, and then they lose in the tournament. They finish 4 games better than Detroit in conference play, and Detroit goes to the NCAA tournament, and Valpo stays home. To me, that is the perfect example as to what's wrong with conference tournaments. Well, plenty of hoops already rolling through it this week. We will be back with you next week, wall-to-wall coverage of the NCAA tournament beginning Monday morning right here at ArizonaSports.com, a special edition of College Hoops Coast to Coast as we go over the entire NCAA tournament field. It's all right here at ArizonaSports.com. We'll see you Monday and enjoy the conference tournament.